I will try to speak English with the help of Camilla, because I don't speak English normally since almost 5, 6 years. Then sometimes it is not simple for me, especially if we have to talk about my job and this story. As Camilla said, I'm a real photographer. No AI in artificial intelligence, artificial photographers, or something like this. I'm a real photographer, and I made this job for 31, 32 years, working in my city when I was very young, in Palermo, in Sicily, you know. And after I started to work with one of the most important, the biggest news agency in the world, Reuters, as Camilla also, she worked for the same company. And doing always the same kind of job, but changing the kind of news that I was following. When I started, I was very young, and I started to work with the news, the local news of a city as Palermo. And the most important news in Palermo in 1985, 86, was the mafia story. And I started to work with this kind of news, this kind of story, taking picture to people killed on the street daily. And in 1992, two big events, very big attack to the state in Palermo, when the mafia killed the judge Giovanni Falcone, and after 57 days, with another bomb attack, they killed the judge Paolo Borsellino. Okay? I would like to show a little video where I talk about my job and what I think about photography. The problem is that it's in Italian, and I hope you can understand something, or we will try to, especially Camilla, she will try to tell you the most important things of this video, especially when I talk about my philosophy of photography, what I think about photography, what is photography for me, in my life. And we can say that for me, photography is the memory. What I think about photography is the value of the memory, what we can remember through a picture, what I can ask myself about the picture. I don't know if you are a photographer or you like photography, love photography. I don't talk about iPhone photography, but real photography. If you are okay, if you are not interested to photography, I think that you are involved with photography when everybody, especially when we see the photo album, the family album of our family. When I open, normally, I don't know, you are very young, but in Italy, in the past, I go to the house of my grandfather or grandmother, and she opened a very big box full of photography. And we open this box and we put the picture on the table, and we start to remember the history of my family. I think it's the same everywhere, this one. Then also, if I haven't, okay, I hope there is no some English teacher, because my grammar could. If I never took picture, I am interested to photography, because I can study the story, the history of my family through the picture. This is, I think, the most important value of the photography for me. Okay, if we can start with the first video, please.
Questo sono io. Mi chiamo Tony Gentile e sono un fotogiornalista. Inseguo le notizie da oltre 20 anni, sia che si tratti della cronaca di un fatto drammatico o il racconto di un semplice evento sportivo. E per farlo ho camminato tantissimo ed ho scattato immagini quasi quotidianamente. Ho cominciato a scattare a Palermo, la mia città di nascita, e scattare per il news è stato quasi un percorso naturale. A quei tempi, e sto parlando dei primi anni 90, a Palermo non mancavano di certo le notizie di rilievo. Lavorare in velocità e con organizzazione sono i requisiti base per un fotografo che intende seguire la notizia. Non mi è mai pesato, anzi direi che mi viene abbastanza istintivo. In più c'è da dire che le immagini di news sono le più viste dal grande pubblico. Danno il riscontro più immediato in tempo reale e con pochi filtri. Dal click al desk di una redazione possono passare pochissimi minuti. Questo flusso di scatti è continuo e proviene senza sosta da tutto il mondo. È di fatto una testimonianza continua e puntuale del presente. La fotografia è stata sempre un mio interesse. Mi affascina in tutti i suoi aspetti ed in tutte le sue forme. Per me fotografare è una ricerca emotiva attraverso l'atto del guardare. Penso che in prima istanza la fotografia sia questo, un fatto personale, una ricerca di se stessi per se stessi. Un lavoro mentale continuo che è il medesimo in qualsiasi ambito fotografico. Tra il fotografo di news e il fotografo di studio cambierà senz'altro l'approccio tecnico, ma non cambia il modo di sentire la luce o di comporre l'inquadratura. Il fotografo è il vero strumento. Le macchine fotografiche sono soltanto un complemento e vanno bene anche quelle di cartone. Trasmettere emozione agli altri e a chi guarda è un momento successivo che non sempre coincide con il momento dello scatto. Penso però che preservare l'aspetto emotivo sia vitale per un fotografo. Il rischio che il mestiere ti porti a scattare solamente per soddisfare la committenza è un'evenienza che va affrontata ed allontanata quanto più possibile. La difficoltà è proprio questa: essere padroni del mestiere ed al contempo mantenere vigile quella parte sensibile che in qualsiasi momento potrebbe regalarti un'immagine inattesa. La fotografia di news è quella che da sempre mi ha istintivamente catturato, forse per la prontezza che richiede oppure per l'immediatezza del suo utilizzo. O forse perché semplicemente è la fotografia che racconta la storia. La storia è un flusso continuo di eventi senza sosta e a me piace immaginarli come un incessante sommarsi di centesimi di secondo. Inseguirla è impossibile. La storia infatti ha un suo percorso, va per la sua strada. Tutto quello che è concesso ad un fotografo di news è di raccontare al meglio gli eventi, uno dopo l'altro, qualunque essi siano. Quali di questi eventi entreranno nell'immortalità della storia e di conseguenza quali foto diventeranno il volto della storia non è dato sapersi e forse è giusto così. Gli aneddoti raccontati dai grandi fotografi ci hanno dimostrato come a volte dietro una grande foto ci sia il combinarsi di una serie di casualità inaspettate e imprevedibili. Le immagini hanno destini strani, destini inimmaginabili al momento dello scatto. A me è successo di percepire questo meccanismo personalmente. Si è solitamente portati a pensare che le immagini di news abbiano una vita breve, brevissima, e che il loro utilizzo si esaurisca nell'arco di pochi giorni. A volte però non è così, ed immagini che riposavano tranquille in mezzo ad un mare di altre foto all'interno di un archivio improvvisamente si ritrovano a raccontare con grande forza storie per le quali non erano nate.
concepts that I skipped a few. One that I didn't manage to translate because I was following was the part very recently where it said that once you shoot for news, for global news, you never know what image will be thrown away after, like will not make history the day after, or will be there forever, and it becomes immortal. If I may add, like there's, of course, photography, like any image, can be very subjective. You might like some things and you might, not like other images, colors, things. I think your photographs are always particularly, I don't want to use the word artistic, but they're always particularly beautiful. Like there's something that, and maybe it's whatever you say about the sensitivity and the emotions that you put inside, but they make a difference, like they do strike a chord as opposed to like other news stories, which is, or they're funny. I think you have a sense of humor for pictures. Like a lot of the pictures are really, really funny.
I don't know, you said something about my picture. I don't know. For me, they are only my picture, the picture that I took almost every day for 30 years. I took picture almost every day. And it's normal, it's something of I don't know how I can say. It's something that's very normal for me. Sometimes they ask me, someone they ask me, oh, why you took this picture in this way? I don't know. This is the way I took picture normally. And sometimes we don't have time to think before to take some picture. The job is very fast, and you have to be fast to take picture, to send picture to the newspaper or agency or everywhere. Then it's impossible for me sometimes to teach. When they ask me, okay, you can do something, you can teach. Oh, I cannot teach. I can teach as you can take picture, to use your camera, but I cannot say you as I took my picture. I don't know. I don't know as I took my picture. I took my picture. It's absolutely not natural, no? I hope you understood something about this. And probably you saw that I am the photographer that I took one of the most iconic picture of these two guys. The guys are the judge Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino. I took this picture in 1992, 57 days before Giovanni Falcone was killed in a bomb attack. And after another 57 days, was killed also Paolo Borsellino. In 2 months, 2 big events like this, there was not local news. There was international news, because all the newspapers all over the world, they know Giovanni Falcone especially, and they was looking for picture for this event. It was one of the biggest story in Italy and in the world. And only 2 months, less than 2 months before, I took the last picture of these two guys. And they was not only two judges, but they was two big friends. They was really friends. They was working every day with the same goals, to fight against mafia. And I had the opportunity to see them and take picture of them. And this picture is the picture of friendship, right? It is not a picture of them killed on the street, as I saw them. No? I saw them dead. But this picture is a picture of life. And this is the reason why this picture is so important in Italy now. At the end of the video, you saw many murals with the painting, no, with the picture. In Italy, there are hundreds of this painting. In the official, in the public office, in the police office, in the hospital, in the tribunals, everywhere you can see this picture. Because this is not a picture of two men dead, but two men still alive, fighting against the mafia. And this is the big value of this picture for me and for many people, millions of people that lost this picture, and through this picture, they lost these two guys. And this is for sure, is the most important picture in my archive. Absolutely. Probably I don't like this picture. As many, I don't know, I say always, sometimes as many singers, they have the most famous song, and always people ask, oh, play this song, play this song. Okay, I wrote other songs, and I took other picture. I worked for, I told you, more than 30 years, then probably I took other pictures. But this is the most famous, and the people recognize me through this picture. And this is good sometimes, this is bad sometimes. Because you need, as a photographer, as a journalist, as a worker, I need to show all my job, not only one part of my job. Then this is a very important picture for me, but this is also something that I don't like. Sometimes I don't like to talk about this picture for many reasons, but this is the relationship between the picture and me. It's very complicated. I need a doctor, very good doctor to analyze my pain, to see exactly what there is in my mind about this picture and my job and this story. And one of the reasons is because I was in Palermo when they were killed. I was in the place where they was killed, and I walked where they were dead. And it's normal for me. I did this many times, but during these two events, I saw something of very incredible. I don't want to say you, but you take picture as a doctor in a first aid, no? When you have to save something, the doctor arrive and save you. And I took picture in the same way. But after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 30 years, you remember always what you saw in this place, in that place, in my city. What can happen to me, to my parents, to my brother, to my family, if they were in the same place? Jump with a bomb. And it was our life as a citizen of Palermo. Our life was always with this idea in the mind. What can happen tomorrow? What can I see? What can happen to me if I stay in the same place where Falcone arrived with his car and the jump? This is very different for a photographer, for a person, for a man, instead for another journalist inviato, come possiamo dire?
Correspondent.
Yes, another correspondent that come from New York, in Palermo, to tell a story, but he's not from Palermo. He don't feel the same feeling about this story, about this person. And it's very difficult. And this is one of the most important things of my job in this part of the life. Okay, I want to show you something very... Okay, this is my first film. in absolute. And you can see it's very bad because you can see one picture black, one white, and your face film is always like this. You have to study before to arrive. I started, as you told me, as I said before, I started in Palermo in 1889, and in Palermo in 90 there was the football world champion in Italy, and especially in Palermo. I was working there, and I took some picture there. And as all the photographers, when they start to take picture, I think also you, when you start to have the passion for photography, the first subject, they are children, always. Especially if you go in the exotic place. If you go in India, if you go in Africa, you go there, always you see children that they ask you for the picture, they ask you for something, and they are also different from our culture, for your children, no, in your country. If you go in an exotic place, you see different situation, and you are attracted and you take a picture. And me also in my city, when I was very young, one of the favorite subjects, they were children. But they are really news, not children to take picture to the children. Because in Palermo in 1990, there was no water normally in the house. And people have to take water in some place in the big square where there was this big silos. I don't know if silos is the right container, no, with water, and people go there to take the water to. I don't know if it's normal for you this, but in Palermo was really normal, and it was the daily life. And I started to tell to take picture during the daily life. You know that Sicily is very famous for its traditional, popular tradition, religious, especially that sometimes they look religion, but there is no religion behind this story. And children, religion, popular tradition, and children. But the judge, the mafia, and politics. Or you don't know these two guys, but this one on the left is Giulio Andreotti. Andreotti is one of the most famous politicians in Italy, and especially in the past. But and on the right, there is another man, politician, also in the same party of Andreotti, but is very connected with mafia. Then in this picture, where you can see only, I don't know, the light, okay, the hand. Can you see this hand? It's a very small particular in the picture, but this is the most important particular of the picture, because it means that they are friends. There is a very big connection between them. And the problem is that I don't know if I can see here. Okay, this is the man with the white hair, Salvo Lima. Salvo Lima was a man inside the mafia. It was the connection between mafia and Italian politics, and was killed by the mafia. 2 weeks before I took the famous picture of Falcone Borsellino to understand the period, you know, where he was working. Then, what means this? When you take some picture, you have to know exactly the story behind the picture. You have to know the people, why is here, what is doing, no? if you know something, if you know the story, you can take picture and you can explain. This picture can say something to the people. If you don't know the story, it's a normal picture of two friends going to the cinema. I don't know. Then it's very important when you take picture for journalism that you know the story. You know the story. You have to study. You have to study the persons. Okay, this is another politics of events that it was normally in the past, but now it's very strange to see political party in the square with so many people. And this is part of my daily life. Mafia men, mafia people dead. We saw this. And this is the bomb attack to Judge Giovanni Falcone. I don't know if you know this story, but mafia put 500 kilos of explosive under the highway. And when the judge passed with the car, they pushed thing, and 500 kilos jump, and they killed 5 people. The judge, his wife, and 3 policemen of the escort of Giovanni Falcone. It seems normal, but it is not normal absolutely, especially when you stay there and you can walk on this place and you can hear the sound of this place. You can smell what means 500 kilos of explosive. And after 57 days, another attack inside the city, inside the town, in front of the house of the mother of Judge Borsellino. And when you stay here, you walk in the part of people dead, not in the men, in the part of this man, because the explosion inside a very small street, it was incredible. This was my job. Take picture from newspaper and magazine in the world. This is one of the men that pushed the telecomando, come si dice, mannaggia, the remote for Falcone. It's very strange because, okay, I took this picture. This picture was the cover of Time, you know, Time for sure. Now this magazine is for a journalist, for a photojournalist, it's the most prestigious place where you can see your picture. And but this man killed, probably he didn't know exactly how many people he killed in his life. And especially one, a boy of 11 years old, he put this guy on the acid. After more than almost 2 years, kidnapped this guy, and after they put on the acid. Can you imagine what does it mean? Okay, this man is free now. It's incredible. I cannot believe. I cannot imagine this. I'm very incazzato for this. But he is free because he collaborated with the justice and for Italian law,
So
he is free.
we have a law in Italy. We have many laws to fight the mafia after what we've been through in the late 80s and 90s. One of the law that Tony is referring to is the repented people. So if you're arrested because you're part of the mafia and then you snitch basically on and help the police force to catch someone else, you basically get a discounted things. We have no capital punishment. And a lot of the arrests that were done during those years, like the maximum sentence you can get in Italy, it's about 20 years, realistically. Even if you've killed hundreds of people, 20, 25 years. So if you were fairly young, you're a quite able 60-year-old that comes out. And we have the same problem all over Campania, Camorra, they're all coming out in handfuls in a matter of like months and weeks. And then if they have snitched on the organization, those 20, 25 years or life, which is really 25 years in Italy, can get down and discounted to like 10, 15, 18 years and you're out again by law.
Anyway.
So it's, they have capital punishment and it really makes you wonder sometimes if maybe.
Okay. No, okay. This is my picture in several newspapers and magazines after I took this picture. But, okay, this is another part of my job because as I was following news, I was trying also to take picture to other events that can be used in the future. Because of what I think, as I said before, for me the most important story of the memory is what I have in the mind. Then everything I follow, every picture I take, I always think, what can be this picture in 10, 15, 20, 30 years? Then when I started to work with the world champion in Palermo, as I told you before, in 1990, I took this picture, and after 2 or 3 years, someone, a journalist, that took a book about this experience in my city, and I had many pictures of, no picture of sport, of the soccer, no, but picture behind, no, what happened with the people. And this is another point for me important. When you take some picture to a story, what do you think? Picture is reality, is true or not? For me, not. It's not the true. It's not reality. Picture is only a part. Because I can take this picture and say, okay, in this place there are 20 people. But if I move my camera, there are other 20 people. If I move my camera, no one is in this place. And what is the truth? This is my truth. Is what I want to say, not what is the reality. It is a very strange point, but then when I take some picture, I put in my picture my opinion, my way of seeing, what I want to show you. But I am in my picture, for sure. Then you have see the picture and try to understand what there is between my opinion and your opinion, because it can be the same or cannot be the same. Another story, when I was very, very young, as a young photographer, was the Berlin Wall. And in 1989, I started to work, and I had no money to go to Berlin to take picture. I wanted to go there because it's the passion. The first passion of the photographer is to stay there and can say, after 1 year, 2 years, I was there. I saw with my eyes. I took picture because I was there. You know the difference between a photographer, a journalist, a visual journalist, and a text journalist is that she can work from here and tell a story now from this place. I have to go there. I must to be there and take picture. To take picture in, I don't know, what you want to tell a story now about the Pope. She can write something from this desk in this place. Also, if she doesn't see what happened, I have to be there. To take picture, I have to be there absolutely. And a very emotional, no, part of my job is to be there and say, I was in Berlin, I saw this place, I was there. Then as a young photographer, I wanted to go there, but I cannot because I had no absolutely money to go to Berlin the year before. And I went there in 1 year after, because I wanted to be witness also about this big story. This is an interesting story for a photographer. I took this picture. Okay, what happened here? You know this place? Well, you know where we are? Però tu lo sai, no, volevo sapere se loro... No, comunque non è... No, it is not Valle dei Templi in Agrigento, but it's in Sicily, not in Greek.
Greece.
It's Sicily, because Sicily was Greek. And there is this tourist. I saw him for almost half an hour, waiting for the right light to take a picture. As you can see, he had this something that he covered his eyes, waiting for clouds, passing clouds, to have the right light in the sunset. This is what normally a photographer do. I have to do, no? Wait for the right light to take the best picture. But he was not a professional photographer, was only a tourist. This is for me very curious. And I sit next to him, I just wait what he's doing. After almost half an hour, when he decided that there was the right light, he went in front of the camera and took what we normally do now, and we say selfie. We call selfie. Was not selfie in the past, but just a self-portrait. And the camera had a special button where you can do a self-portrait. And he went there just half an hour to take a selfie. This picture made, come dire, mi ha innescato.
Triggered.
Yes, triggered a curiosity. I say, why people take picture? Why a million people, hundreds of tourists from Japan in the same bus, when they take off the bus, they stay in front of a monument, everybody take the same picture. Why? What is in our mind? And I started to take picture about people taking picture. But just for curiosity, just when I was working, I was on holiday, I was working for something, and I see something of very curious for me, I take picture. And I started to put picture in my archive. 92, 92, 93, so and so. And 2007, and I can see something of different. The use of picture in some story of news. This is a story about immigration. No? Then police taking picture to immigrant, irregular immigrant. the number. Can you see the particular of the number is very important in this picture. If I move half meter on the right, this number is covered from the camera, by the camera. But only if I stay in this place, I can see the number. Tourists, and change the world. Now the camera, it was substituted, no, see, sorry, by the telephone. And the picture of the man in front of the monument now is the selfie. You know this guy, probably, on the left, the mayor of New York, taking selfie with someone. And Francesco Totti and players after match, they take selfie. And the obsession of people taking picture and always high hair, no? Because you cannot see and you need something to increase your level. And the original picture that I have to take, because I was in this place to take a picture to Pope Benedict, I don't know, Pope Francis. But in my position, in my official position, I cannot see because I see only the telephone of other people. And the big selfie of and strange people taking picture. Or what I mean with this, that my curiosity of almost 30 years ago started a job, and during this job, in this only 20 picture, 10, I don't know, you can see the change. As the world changed, the world changed. Our approach with photography changed. Now, everybody takes picture with a smartphone, everybody take, especially selfie, everybody want to be in this place, not to tell the story, but to tell, I am in this story. Also, if in the other side there is a very important person, I don't want to take a picture to him and tell the story. I want to say just, I am in this picture, I am in this story. I am most important than the Pope. Because people, they do exactly this. Pass the Pope, and we say, hey. And this is a change on the mind of the people. And I try to tell this story about my picture in 30 years. In this little stupid story, you can see the important, or can be important photography, telling the story during a long period. Because you can see the changing of the world, the changing of the mind of the people. Okay. They are very famous photographer. And so, okay, it was an experience in the cinema. I worked during a couple of movies with a very young director. She's Roberta Torre, and she was very famous in that period. And I said, okay, I want to work with you because I want to scommettere come...
Bet.
Yeah, bet about your successo.
Or bet on your success.
Yes, because if you will be a very famous director, I gave the picture when you started. And for a couple of years, I followed her during her movie, but for me, it was most important following her job when he was working in different places. And so, okay, this is another kind of approach with the photography. Non so se questo parte, no, non parte. Ok, no, vabbè, ma non ha importanza, perché non abbiamo anche il tempo, perché stiamo andando lunghi. Okay, this is my office. Oh, it was my office. Really, I don't take picture anymore. I finish, I don't work, I don't want. I finish, this is my camera. now, then I don't use any more picture because I don't like contemporary photography. But when I was a professional photographer, this was my office. No. Okay. A couple of cameras with different lenses. Yes. Battery. A flash. I never used a flash, but you need a flash in your bag because you never know what happened, where you are going to take picture, and you can be artist and say, no, I don't use flash because I use only natural light. But you have to take picture for someone, for newspaper. And if you have to see in the face the picture, the person that you are taking picture, you have to see, and you need your flash. Absolutely. You can be artist, but you need your flash always in your bag. Laptop to send picture. And if you see this special equipment here, this little, this is something that allows you to transmit picture directly from your camera. It's a transmitter of picture. And if you connect to Saponette, is modem Wi-Fi, this one, you can send your picture directly from your camera. What does it mean? Sometimes the question is, it was better when photography was analogic, or now that is everything digital. For my job, the technology is fantastic. Because in the past, you saw the picture of Via D'Amelio where Falcone was killed, no? When I was there, I had only analogic technology. Then that means that you cannot take 2,000 pictures because you have films. Films are 36 pictures, and every film is $10. To develop this film, that means time to develop, time to check the right picture to send to the newspaper. If you take 2,000 pictures, you have to spend time to develop and to look for the right picture. If you take only 20 pictures, you are fast. I don't know, it's clear? Okay. Now with technology, then in the past, when I go to the highway, I have to see what happened. Try to understand what is the right picture to take picture. Spend my time to take picture and not 1,000 pictures, but only one film. Come back to the office, develop the film, put my equipment to send this picture to the newspaper. And this is time. Then I cannot stay 3 hours in the place where the story happened, but I have to go away. I stay there half an hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, and after we have to go because I have to do another job that is very important. Develop, check, look for the picture and send the picture to the newspaper. Now, in the same story, in the same place, I can stay all the time because I take picture and immediately I send my picture to the newspaper from my camera. Then I can stay 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, all my life in this place to taking picture. And this is very good because I don't lose anything. I have everything. I stay there, I can take picture always. This is technology for news photographer. Then technology was very, very important for us. At the same time, it was also a problem because you can stay in this place for some special reason before me, and you can take the right picture with a smartphone. I arrive 2 hours later, but your picture are on the web or in the social, and the newspaper take the picture from your social media. I arrive there, and always the story is finished. Then my job is finished. This is why I don't like this job and don't take this job anymore. One of the reasons. The technology is good, is bad. Is good, is bad. Depends. I use it also, take with me also an audio recorder, because I use it also to do multimedia project using video, picture, and audio. And this is very nice, but you know better than me, absolutely. You can teach me this in this way. This is the way of the future of tell the story. Then in my bag, there was always something to record audio, because if you see something of nice, just see. You use only one way of communication, my eyes. But if you listen the audio of the person where you are taking picture, is more coinvolgente.
Encompassing.
Okay.
You're more involved.
Yeah. Yes, you can be involved more because you can feel, you can see the picture, you can listen to the wind, the sea, exactly what you see. You can feel like you stay in this place. And it's very important for me, so that why in my future life I want to be director, movie director. I want to do this. Sì, vabbè, forse quel video Papa.
Fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno. Rivolgo un cordiale saluto a tutti i pellegrini. Grazie della vostra accoglienza e delle vostre preghiere. Pregate per me, vi lo chiedo. Buona domenica e buon pranzo.
Movie that show you that when you take you do the job that I did, you have to be able to use special equipment. This is a very, very long lens. We used 2 tripods to use this lens. And when your chief, your boss come, okay, Tony, tomorrow you stay in this place and you use this lens. Also, if you have never used this lens, you have to be able to use the lens. Then you have to study, put that, take picture before, test, and do something, because you have to be ready to do this kind of job, because you are working for the most important news agency in the world. If you work for me, you have to be able to do this. It's normal. Nobody asks you, can you do this job? No, just tomorrow you do this job. Then you have to be ready always to do everything. And also this video, probably without the voice of the Pope, it's boring. But with the voice of the Pope, with the people, with the sound, you understand better the situation. This is the story that I said you before. I moved from Palermo to come in Rome to work with Reuters. Then I always took picture of news, but I changed my subject because my subject was very important. And I started to work with international news, international story. And I traveled a lot with the Pope, with John Paul II, with Benedict, and also with Francis, Pope Francis. And this is what normally you have to do. You have to be able to work with special equipment. Oh, sorry. Taking picture with 3 different cameras in the same time. Use 5 cameras for a story. Stay on the same flight with the World Cup or in the same flight with the Pope. And every time you have a different way to work, a different equipment. You have to be able to know this and to do this. And take a lot of medicine to fight the stress. All of this story. This is, I think, a famous story also for you, no? You know the Costa Concordia story? You don't know this story? Okay.
It was a cruise ship that
Yes.
sunk.
It was, I think, the most famous cruise.
Shipwreck.
Yes. Since, I don't know, Titanic, I think. After Titanic, this is most famous. It was in Italy, happened in Italy. And one night, my boss in Paris, he called me during the night, he said, okay, Tony, there is this story. Your colleagues doesn't answer to the telephone. You are in chief now, and you have to organize this story. But the problem was that I was in Cortina d'Ampezzo because I was working for ski race, and I was doing another job. I have to organize the night this story, and after me too, after when I finish my job, go to the Isola del Giglio to cover this story. The most important, it was a story of 2 years, always in the newspaper, all international newspaper, and TV, international network, they had this story always. And the most important part of this story is this video. Please, Giglio Highland. you need when you take this picture. You need to know technology and put it and mettere in atto and do what you know, what you study, you have to do. This video was used by all the international networks immediately, by CNN, everywhere in the world. They saw this video. But at the end of the story, I was there in Isola del Giglio for newspaper, and my picture was in Herald Tribune the day before. Then I did many things in 1 day, in 2 days, a lot of picture for different stories, using time lapse, using normal picture for this, taking video for other story, and you have to do and always ready to do many things. Forse, aspetta, adesso te lo dico. Okay, this is a nice story, but I want to. Oh, this, okay, I want to tell you this story, this very curious story. He's a very strange man. He's a collector of everything. Very strange collector. He works here not far from Rome, in a place that we call Dragona, and he had this very strange place where he collects car, statue, every kind of object. But he thinks in his mind that, you know, okay, this is the right place. Why there is this place here? Why we can see the art normally in the big museum? Because rich people made this. When we go inside the museum, inside the very important gallery in Rome, Paris, everywhere, I think 19% of the art craft that we see, they come from rich people. And during the history, what happened with the poor people? Why we don't collect anything of the normal people? He thinks that every object has the dignity to stay inside the museum. Okay? Because in the future, through this object, we can read the history of the people, of the population in different places. I don't know if it's clear.
To me it is, but I
Okay,
come from Italy.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm tired now. And I went to take picture in his shop, and I thought this: if the object that they are important to stay in a museum, I used this frame to put inside this special object, normal object. Then I took a series of pictures, a little radio. They are hairs of Anita Garibaldi.
So he says.
Yes, yeah, it says, but it's like a certification. It's very important, very famous, and eggs of dinosaur. Yes, dinosaur egg, and all this object, because I tried to go inside his mind. If everything is important to stay in a museum, what do we see in the museum? Painting with frames, elegant frames, and every object like Pinocchio, no, okay, like little Pinocchio, francobolli, come si chiamano? Stamps. This is a very old ball, used ball, that we normally put in the trash. And they say, no, this is important because it can be interesting to read this historical period, what normal people use, the life of normal people through this object. And my interpretation was this. I put this and I transformed this normal object in art craft inside a frame. Ok, this is multimedia stories, and adesso quell'altro video che era partito prima, this is in English.
My name is Alpha Sisse. I am from Sierra Leone. I leave Sierra Leone because of the war, because they killed my father during the war in Sierra Leone. When we are coming, it's not easy because the boat is overchoked. So when we are coming, so they are beating people inside the boat, because some people are getting up, some people are standing up. So I carried the baby for my hand. When I carried the baby for my hand, so my wife is in the downside, behind my back with my wife's sister. So it happened to say, when I turn my back now, I just see most of the people behind my back dead, lying down inside the boat. There is water coming inside the boat. So about 5 minutes ago, then we see the rescue team is coming, the Italian rescue team. Then I am the most #1 person to shout that my wife is here and my baby is here. And so I able to remove my wife's sister first because it's closer to me. Then after, I remove my wife to the rescue team. So when they try to press her, they can't able to live again. He dead.
Audio, the voice of the man is very important to tell this story instead to see picture. And what was my idea? Okay, about migration, there are very different point of view. Accept or kill, no? I tell my idea, we have to accept. Why? How can I explain to want to respingere?
To send back, to push back.
Yes. How can I explain how we are the same, similar? And what I thought, what we take with us when we live for a long trip, or holiday, or work for something. Exactly the same things that they take with them when they live. When they live from Africa to come in Europe. Pills, medicine, something religious, money, pictures. For what normally I take with me when I live for 2 months to go in a place. And we are similar for this. And this object, as you saw, they are objects that the police found on the body of people dead in the sea. Then people dead in the sea, they have the same things in the pocket as myself. This is the reason why I am the same of you, and you are the same of me. And I cannot pull you back in another place and put you in a prison or something. And we have accept people. This is my opinion. And I try to tell this story showing the truth, the reality of this object, and with the word of a man who lost his wife and the sister of the wife. And he saved only his daughter. I met this guy in Palermo. I tried to understand the story, and they said, okay, you can tell this story. His voice in this story is very important because I think that we can feel better the situation instead just to see picture or not. Do you think it's true or not? Okay, I show you in 3 minutes last story, and after I wait for your answer if you have for your question, sorry. If you have any question for me, I hope. Okay, this is a part when I okay. You know, we talk about my picture of Falcone Borsellino. Probably you don't know this picture, you have never seen this picture, but as I show you, this picture is all over, everywhere in Italy, okay? One day, a very important photographer said, and this picture now in Italy, we say that is iconic picture. Is an iconic picture. When we sometimes talk about iconic picture, always put inside my photo. One day, one important photographer talking about iconic image, what, in your mind, do you have an iconic picture? You remember some picture that for you is iconic? For you, but for me also the picture of my mother is iconic, but not for me, but iconic picture, globally. Do you have something you can tell me? No.
Hillary?
There's this picture by Toscani, I think is his name.
Oliviero Toscani.
Yeah.
It's of the child soldier, like from behind.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. This is an iconic picture. Oh, I remember to stay in the USA, the portrait of Obama, Barack Obama, that was transformed in pop art picture, no? That became the cover of Time. This can be an iconic picture. Or always, Mirojaiva, I think, is the name of the place where U.S. soldiers, they put the flag. I don't know if it's Mirojaiva or the name or something like this. Have you never seen this picture? There is a very important monument also in the United States about this picture. This is an iconic picture, something that people recognize like a symbol. Okay, my picture is an iconic picture. This photographer said, why a picture become iconic picture? And all the people know this picture, recognize this picture in something. And he said that probably this happened because when we see a picture, we recognize in this picture something that we have already seen. So, okay. And we say, okay, I saw this picture. And this picture become iconic. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, I went in this place to see this painting of Vasari. And this is the last dinner, no? And normally, when you take picture, you take some picture, large picture, and after you go inside with your tele to see some particular of the picture. And this is what I took also. And I saw these two men, these two saints. Okay, and I thought immediately, but I saw this. It's similar to something that I saw already. Look at the position of the hand of Giovanni Falcone and the position of the hand of the saint. And I saw, oh, probably it's true that we have something in the mind, something of special, or not a painting, not, I don't know what is, but we saw something and we can say this picture can be iconic because it's very similar to something that I saw already. What I think, I have never seen this picture before, taking this picture, and taking my picture 20 years before. No. The problem for me, what happened here, happened that the gestures, no, of Falcone and Borsellino, they are too natural. What we normally do, if I come here to say something, I do this normally and take this picture, transform Falcone and Borsellino to person very similar to me because they do the same thing. And if I am similar to them, I can do what they did. I can do. They fight against mafia, I can do, because I am very similar. They are not special hero. They are very normal people that do very normal gesture, and this normal is the mechanism that comes to the reason why this picture became iconic picture. Okay, I finish my speech. And if you have any question that I can understand, I can answer, I am very happy.
Thank you, Tony. Do you have any questions? I can pass the microphone around. I think they're all a little exhausted. Ci va Fabio in giro.
Okay, thank you.
Spin. Is it on?
So whenever you started your photography career, you said that at first you couldn't travel anywhere because you didn't have enough money. So what did you like do, and where did you like publish your photography? Does that make sense?
Te lo traduco. Dice all'inizio quando hai iniziato hai detto che non avevi, no, soldi per andare al muro di Berlino, così, e quindi dove la pubblicavi le foto?
Okay, I started honestly without money, absolutely no money. And everything, I started to make money in this way, going to the school, taking picture to students and sell my picture to the students.
Ah, there you go.
Group of non-students in the school, like the book that normally in the USA you do, no? And I started to take picture to make picture in this way, and everything I spend in my camera, in my work, and spending for investing in my job, starting to take in picture and sell picture to the newspaper. At the beginning, not much money, but every single coin I put not in pizza, not in disco, not in anything of this, just in photography. And in this way, I started to work with some national newspaper or magazine, publishing one picture, and they pay more, and increase always one picture, and after two pictures, and after three, and after my name was, when you publish your picture in some national newspaper or magazine, you can see also your name. And people knows also my name, and other journalists know my name. And this is a very slow process, and not so slow, because in 1 year and a half, I started to work very, very strong, especially because in Palermo happened something very strong as new. And this was my way to start with no money and put coin after coin, coin after coin, and buy a lens, buy a new camera, and buy this and buy that, to be able to do always more, to be ready to can come si dice, come di essere utile per i giornali, cioè per essere pronto per lavorare con i giornali. To be ready to work with newspaper always bigger. This is my story.
Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Thank you. Can you hear me? Oh my gosh, I hate that. Which event or shot was the most physically taxing for you to photograph?
Okay, I hope to understand.
Qual è
Voi si-
fisicamente
sì.
la più faticosa?
Sì.
Però adesso riesco a fermarti. I must say,
I
like,
don't know, honestly. From there are two different point of view. Emotional point of view, absolutely, in Palermo, when I was very young, for the strage. Yeah, absolutely this one. Physically, there are many, many stories. Like when you take picture to the sport event, they are really strong because you have a lot of equipment, you have a long time to wait for the event, stay there. If you are following Olympic winter, that means that you have to stay on the snow, then low temperature. And if you are following summer winter, probably you stay in Brazil, humidity, high temperature. So there are different stories, and when you travel with the Pope, they are very, very strong stories physically, because you have always your equipment always on with you, long lenses, computers, satellite telephone, everything you need to be sure that you can send your picture, a good picture to the agency, and wake up 3 in the morning, go to sleep midnight, and wake up 3 in the morning for 3, 4, 5, 7 days, depend the kind of and travel long
Distance.
sì, long trip, and come si chiama
Jet lag.
jet lag, and with a particular, when I went to Brazil with the Pope, 13 years of trip, okay, normally if you go for tourists, to go to the hotel, you sleep, and after the day after you start to travel. No, when I go out from the bus, from the flight, I start to work, my work immediately. Then you don't have any time to rest, nothing of this. You have to be always dressed with a special dress. Then you need a special bag with hundreds of t-shirts or, or something to change 3 times in the day, because if it's hot, humidity, okay, it's very strong. And
I must say the equipment especially, and the weight and the lenses and the computer, in terms of global news, it was a very masculine job. Like you were one of the smallest
You
photographers. There
cannot
was
say
one
masculine
woman.
job because it's
Well, because of the weight, like the jet lag and the cold and the thing, we can cope. But there was literally one female working in the news photography because it wasn't about going around with a little Leica. Like they were carrying weight that very few. It was very like unavoidably gender biased.
you have to
job.
go to the
It was
gym.
heavy.
No, you
It
have
was
to
a
be
lot of
ready. Take medicine for your back. Always.
Well, because the first video we saw, there was a protest going on or something.
Yes, at the start of the video, there is a protest here in Rome.
Right.
Yes.
It looked.
Yeah, you have
It
to
was
be
scary.
ready also for this, for conflict. And normally, when I worked for Reuters, periodically I did some special course for first aid to help people. If you need to help people, don't take picture, but help people, and to react to special event like this. Mask, everything you need, helmet, jacket, everything you can use to save your life, and try to work the best work also in special condition. And you have to be ready to do this.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Anyone else?
For sure, my suggestion is don't try to do this job.
Encouraging. Okay, well, I thank you very much, Tony, and thank you all for attending, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a good rest of the day. Thank you.
And we have to ask some more questions.